All right, superhero movies. Dear Billy the Marvelous. A couple weeks ago, you were talking about superhero movies. You know what's funny? Last night, me and my lovely wife, who's mad at me right now, we went to go to sleep, and she, for whatever reason, put on the Hulk, and I was watching it. And I've always loved the Hulk / related to the Hulk. Just the anger issues, obviously not the physique or the science degree, whatever Dr. David Banner had, whatever. I just always hated how it was always the army going after him. They're always like shooting machine guns at him and fucking sound waves and all of this shit. And I don't know. I always liked the Hulk. Angry, misunderstood fucking person, But I don't get the Hulk when the Hulk is chill and starts shooting the shit with people and isn't angry. It's like, shouldn't you be turning back into Bill Bixby? But anyway, a couple weeks ago, you were talking about superhero movies. I'm a few years younger than you, and I also did not get super into comics as a kid. I dabbled here and there in a cartoon or a random comic book. It wasn't until I had 2 kids, and I got to tell you, they ain't bad. Remember that Spider-Man TV show from the 70s where they basically had some guy throw a rope from off the screen to look like webbing? Yeah, throw like a net. I remember that. The thing that gets me the most is how they took 25 movies and had them all tie together. My kids don't even really get it, but I'm sitting next to them going, oh shit, that ties back to that other one. I only bring this up because you've talked about how revisiting things you didn't like, i.e. the Talking Heads. No, I always liked the Talking Heads. I just never saw that movie stop making sense. Talking Heads wasn't one of the bands. I always liked them. It was, I forget who it was. It wasn't the Talking Heads, though. I always liked them. Anyways, and realizing you judged them too early, I'm very guilty of this. I would say like REM, a few bands, like those college bands. I mean, I was listening to this testosterone metal. I mean, anything else after listening to that shit, at least back then to my untrained ears, just sounded like somebody playing a fucking ukulele. And now when I go back and listen to some of that metal, a lot of it was just really thin and cheesy. I thought it was, this guy's a fucking badass, man. Anyway, you can't go wrong with Iron Man. I watched a few of the Iron Mans, Jon Favreau, Robert Downey Jr. Of course, I'm going to watch that. And honestly, Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the best movies. It's like Kelly's Heroes in space, kind of. Give it a few years and you'll be coming on the podcast flipping out about them because your kid loves them. Also, watching these movies is easy on the back. I don't know what that means. It's not a lot of heavy lifting for your brain. Is that what you're saying? No, I'm not. I don't know. They're fucking loud as shit. The last one I went to Superman versus Batman. And I was sitting there like, I should have brought my earplugs. It was so fucking loud. And all they did was just beat the shit out of each other. There was like a fight. It was like a half hour long. And I just want to be like, can you two just fuck already? Nobody hates another guy this much. Like, what are you fighting? And I just don't buy that Superman would have that big a problem with Batman. That's never made sense to me. Batman is a vigilante. Okay? I don't know what sort of fucking, grip strength workout this guy does, but, he's pretty goddamn strong. And then you also got to say, for a rich kid, he did all right. Usually when you're born into wealth, there's real no sense of urgency unless you come from one of those psycho families that want you to continue building the wealth and you'll be written out of the will. Then your life sucks. Those fucking families where you have to take fencing. It's just required because, every, fucking Griffith Vaughan III knows how to fence going back. We can trace it back to the medieval times. Like those fucking rich kids. Those ones. The ones who end up like, committing a murder, those fucking lunatics back in the day, the Billionaires Boys Club. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now, but, let's get back to Bruce Wayne here. The guy comes from money. He's a slacker. He's not really doing any core workout or even no kettlebell shit. You know, he was probably listening to the Joe Rogan podcast and was going to order the On It stuff, but never got around to it. And then all of a sudden one day, his parents get killed, right? Isn't that what happened? His parents get whacked. Wait, am I talking about Ghost? That was Patrick Swayze. That was Demi Moore's boyfriend. Right? You know, I just realized, I remember one time, I was high out of my fucking mind. I'd eaten, I don't know how many fucking milligrams of weed, right? I was high out of my fucking mind. And I started thinking about Demi Moore and Demi Moore. And how it was always Demi Moore. And then out of nowhere, it became Demi. And I just started cracking up laughing. Wait, this wasn't when I was... No, this was an acting gig I had. Dude, I gotta get off these fucking cell phones. No, I wasn't high. I was improvising with the person. Somebody brought that up. Wait, is that a riff from the movie I think that may be a riff from the movie I'm editing. I gotta find that thing. I already edited that scene. Holy shit. All right, this has been a good podcast. I just remembered a joke that I wanted to throw into the fucking movie. All right, sorry, people. I'm sure I just fucking did a little somersault with the brain there. I apologize. Let's get back to Bruce Wayne. Right? All of a sudden, his fucking... out of all the scary movies I saw, by the way, that have freaked me the fuck out, those fucking things that came up in Ghost, if you were a bad person that dragged you down to hell, there was something about it because it was sort of a romantic... I can't say comedy. It's not really a romantic comedy if the boyfriend gets whacked, in the beginning of it, right? Although Bambi's mother dies and they call that a kid's movie. Jesus Christ, I'm all over the map here. So, anyway, I think that's what was more disturbing. Where if you're watching like a fucking horror movie, you think it's going to be a problem. But like if I know that some dead guy is going to make a fucking potted plant with his ex-girlfriend who's still alive, I just don't think it's going to be that scary. It just seems like it's going to be kind of like, living somewhere like Flubber or the Shaggy DA. Remember those Sunday night Disney movies? With that guy that looked like the guy from fucking Leave It to Beaver, but it wasn't. There was two guys. There was Hugh Beaumont and then there was this other guy. And they both looked the same and they both combed their hair the same fucking way, but they were different guys. The guy from My Three Sons, is that the guy? Well, Bill, it would help if you had fucking names. All right, sorry. Anyway, so Bruce Wayne's parents get fucking whacked, and then he becomes like a superhero, but he's not like, he doesn't have superpowers. He's just like a villain. He's basically Charles Bronson, or Charles Bronson was Batman in Death Wish, right? Anyway, so I went to, that's what was the movie. So I saw that movie. And look, I probably saw a bad one because I liked the Spider-Man ones, the Jon Favreau, Robert Downey Jr. ones. I liked those. Those were fun movies. And, Jon Favreau is one of my favorite directors and Robert Downey Jr. is one of my favorite actors. So it was kind of cool to see that level of talent go into like a big Hollywood movie like that and make a great fucking movie. I also like my favorite one, the Batman movie there, where the Joker walks away out of the hospital dressed like a nurse with that guy from Brokeback Mountain, right? I love that one. That one I loved, but I was never into, I don't know. You know what, dude? I'll give him a shot. Just, where am I supposed to start? I bet they got the whole list of them. There's 25 fucking movies. This is the thing about nowadays. When you try to get into something, you're always like 500 hours behind, and it's just like, I can't do all of this. I don't have fucking time for this. All Marvel movies in order. There it is. Okay, here we go. Starts with Howard the Duck. What? All Marvel movies. How to watch MCU movies. All right, here we go. Oh, my God. I'm going to do... You know something? I actually agree with what you're saying, and I will do this with my kids someday. But I'm not going to do this twice. Marvel movies in order. How to watch all 33... MCU, whatever that stands for. It's probably something about a guy who has a dick problem. Movies and series chronologically. All right, if you want to see the Marvel and Avengers movies in order as they happen, starting with the World War II set, Captain America, the First Avenger, we've listed all 33 MC movies in a series in chronological order in one guide, exclamation point. So while Iron Man, set and released in 2008, can claim the banner as the first of the Marvel Cinematic Universe within its story, Chris Evans has got Robert Downey Jr. beat. That's because Evans' origin story as Captain America, the First Avenger, takes action in 1942. Wait, they didn't put that out in 1942. It's set then, right? There, we're also first fully introduced to the Tesseract, an energy cube. Oh, Jesus. An energy cube? Oh, there's always a sphere or a fucking cube or like a fucking isotope. Something glowing. That's always that cheesy fucking stupid thing that now if I throw a face cloth over it, Thor's hammer doesn't work anymore. Or if I hold it up next to him, he fucking crumbles. He loses his hair and he's standing there with a tack hammer. It's all the same story. Climaxing in 2019's Avengers Endgame. All right, did they just list them or do I have to read all of them? All right, number 1, Captain America, the First Avenger, 2011. All right. Then Captain Marvel, 2019. That's number 2. Iron Man, number 3, 2008. Wait a second. This is the order you have to watch them in? Iron Man 2, 2010. The Incredible Hulk, number 5. I think I saw that one. That was the one I was watching last night. Then there's Thor, 2011. That's 6. Marvel's The Avengers is number 7. Yeah, this is when it became like Ocean's 11, but with, people on HGH and underwear. Thor, The Dark World is number 8. Iron Man 3. Captain America, The Winter Soldier. That got 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Avengers. You guys can look this shit up. Ant-Man with fucking Paul Rudd. I got to see that. I love Paul Rudd. Captain America, Civil War. I think I would like... this is Captain America versus Robert Downey Jr. Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man, and I just hate they always fuck up Spider-Man. You know what I mean? His girlfriend in the fucking... It's one of the few comic books I ever read. Was like a raven-haired beauty, like a Catherine Zeta-Jones type. And I don't know what the fuck they do in the movies. She had hips, she had titties. She was fucking gorgeous, right? And then they always get like some fucking lollipop-bodied, thin-lipped, I don't know what. And you always just sit there like, Spider-Man's not fucking that. That's, Peter Parker is not, I don't know. I could get her. Can't even do a pull-up anymore. All right, Black Panther. Oh, that was part of this? I saw that one. Doctor Strange. Thor is number 20. Ant-Man is back. Avengers Infinity. This is a whole other thing. Avengers Endgame is number 23. So the Endgame isn't even the last one. Then you watch Loki, What If in 2021, Juan Davidson, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Now we're going over to Asia here. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Moon Knight, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man Home on the Range, Eternals, Hawkeye. Dude, fuck that. I'm not fucking watching all of that. But you said it was good. I don't... Oh, my God. All right. Well, if I ever do that, I'm going to count the amount of cubes, spheres, and isotopes that glow, that either give power or take power away. Wasn't there in Superman's fortress of solitude? I mean, if that doesn't just show you how much fucking women nag guys, he had to have a fortress of solitude. This is Superman. He could fly away from any conversation he possibly... I'm doing 80 stand-up right now. What's the deal with the fortress of solitude? I don't know. I'll watch them. So Batman is not in it because that's DC, right? And that's like the big thing. Who do you like better, Marvel or DC? And generally speaking, Marvel's the more mainstream, and DC is for those people that just want to be cool, right? And be like, I actually like this better. I actually like what less people like. I used to know a guy like that. That I swear to God, wherever somebody was at, he was always on the lesser side. Every single fucking time. And it took me about 12 years to finally figure it out, being like, oh, he doesn't really feel this. He just does this because that's a way of keeping the focus of the topic on him rather than what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, you'd be like, oh my God, Aretha Franklin died. I mean, the Queen of Soul, the greatest voice, one of the greatest voices of all time. And then he'd just be like, yeah, I didn't think she was that good. And then we would stop talking about Aretha, and then would be like, what, you don't like? How could you not like? I just didn't fucking, and it just, and for the longest time, I remember just thinking, how is this person always on that opposite fucking side? And then I don't know. I think I undid a couple of my own quirks, and I figured out a few other people, and I was kind of able to all of a sudden see this person in a different way. I was like, oh, that's what they're doing. Oh, that's the way to do it. I've seen people do that. If you want to keep if you're younger and you're around boomers and all they're doing is just talking to each other, and for whatever reason you'd want attention from them, all you'd have to say is you think the Beatles are overrated. That was it. And then the entire focus of the conversation would be on you trying to figure out how you couldn't like the greatest band of their generation, according to them.